Hello and welcome viewers. We have with us Mr. Amit Kumar. Mr. Kumar, welcome to Business World.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you. Uh, Take us, our viewers, through the 7 years of IBCs. What have been the achievements so far and what are the lackings from your point of view?
See, when we introspect our the IBC process and procedure, it's a really wonderful. The IBC has worked, but still many more things required to be changed. Like the power of the COC, the time framework, the regulations, the new regulations are coming up, which is giving up the gap in the processes and all. The COC power is being assigned as a it should be a resolutions one. The IBC has it's not only the enforcement of the securities and all. It's a resolution processes. We have seen the time changes and things are moving kind of things from the DRT to SURVACE and now IBC. But the creditors has been given core power, core importance, centralized position into this whole processes, because they are taking basically the major haircut into this particular things. When you will look at the loan processes and all, creditors are being given more importance, more significant in the documentations also. So as a result of which, if you look at SURVACE Act also, there also the power of taking management is very well within the creditors. So the same follow-up is being taken care of. But now the latest amendment in this September, they have tried to make it more giving into the consulting to the creditors committee than the only looking after the creditors.
Okay. So one of the major criticism of IBC has been that when it comes to the resolution, the number is very good, but that comes with a catch that the haircut at times goes up to 90%, which is one of the major problem that has been outlined. What are your views on this and how can we plug in this gap?
See, now if you will look at the recent amendment which has said it can be partially done also.
Yes.
Just to see if you have not getting the sufficient number of the bid and all, so you can go for partial portions also. So I think there are many more changes are supposed to come up which will take care of these all loopholes. What you are saying, the government as well as the authorities are taking suitable steps by amending the provisions and taking up the consultations with the stakeholders and all.
All right. One more thing I'd like to ask you is from the confidentiality point of view. At times, what happens is that when a company is going IBC process, the news that is out in the media, at times it disincentivizes the investors, and somehow it leads to the distressed asset becoming more vulnerable, because now there will not be people who will be willing to buy that company, or it will go the liquidation will have lesser value. What do you think? How important is it to maintain the confidentiality of the process?
It's a public money. The confidentiality, if you will start making it up, so then things will be unless and until it will be known to the public, known to the more people, then only the people will come up for taking up the investors and buyers will come. So confidentiality has a no role here, what I believe, because it's a public money involved. The stakeholders must come to know, and then only they can bid.
All right. So the stakeholders, the public being the external stakeholders, they have all the right to know and be. The transparency is very
transparency is required.
Very,
then only they know.
Okay. Anything else that you would like to mention around the IBC? Any regulatory thing that needs to be highlighted, or any corrections from the regulatory point of view which can leverage this process further?
See, I will say, very recently RBI has come up with a circular saying that you can have a even from you can have a settlement even from the defaulters or willful defaulters and all within a span of time. Though RBI has said they have clarification, they said they have already told in the way back old circular also, but they have clarified there is a scope, many more scopes are there when then we can have a resolutions with the defaulters also, with willful defaulters also, with certain limitations and restrictions, just to clear the backlog of the the NPA and all.
Any waiver incentives or a small portion of waiver incentives that can be given to the company so that those who are not showing their balance sheet and are at the cusp of being bankrupt, they can come forward and then.
No, there is a different mechanism altogether for them. They can come up for their own voluntarily kind of things. There is a pre-pack mechanism is also there for MSME and all. In that all, there is a scope for own volunteer coming up and getting the benefit of what you are saying, discounting and all.
So, for say, if IBC 2.0 is coming, how do you envision it to be like?
See, it's revolutionary kind of things, because if you look at we were having every 10 years, 20 years there is a change. We were having in 1993 there was a debt recovery tribunal. Then if you will look at 2000 we were having a the SARFAESI Act and all. Then you will find that in 2016 we have a IBC code and all. Now after 6-7 years, in between also lot of regulations under Companies Act, lot of authorities are being created, given the power, like financial service provider we were not having. In 2019 FSP regulations is being notified by the authorities, out of which we were able to take the banks, NBFC under the resolutions like DHFL if you look at, SREI you can look at, and then ILFS you can look at. So these all entities we have taken up into these all under resolutions and all.
So it's a part of the evolution and somehow will achieve to the place.
Definitely, it will days to come. It will have a different color and all together, and suggestions the government will incorporate, and it will be having a successful color.
All right. So that's it from our side. Thank you so much, Mr. Amit.
Thank you.
Talking to us.